You know, I don't work with this guy simply because he's funny. I don't work with this guy simply because he always has fantastic beers in the fridge. I don't work with this guy simply because he makes fantastic dinners that we inhaled, most of us anyway, before the episode went hot. No, I work with this guy because we have too much fucking fun doing this, and we just like doing what we do for you. So get ready. In about 15 minutes, we got Britt Lightning from Vixen, but right now, enjoy the song.
Welcome to the show. How's everybody doing? As you can see, I have a plate of food in front of me, which I have cooked, so Loki does indeed eat.
I eat too fast, therefore later on, the Eternal Flame will be paying for that.
He's already eaten the bejesus out of it. Welcome to another Tuesday edition of the Loki and Jabroni Show. How are you today?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
My partner, Jabroni.
Thank you. And my partner, Loki.
And the man behind the mask.
Man in the box.
Man in the box. He was given the
Behind
name
the mask.
by Eric B. Mitchell. It will always be the man in the box. Senor Eddie Focus.
So how's everybody doing?
Oh, man, I'm fantastic. We got the word in the last 12 hours that we're going to have an awesome guest tonight. Britt Lightning, the new guitarist from Vixen, is joining us. This is going to be fantastic.
I'm excited.
We've had singers. We've had local musicians, but we've never had a worldwide touring guitar player on the show. So this is going to be fucking fantastic.
We didn't have a drummer.
You can count the guys from Shaman's Harvest who we never want to discount, but that was because of my friendship with Nathan Hunt.
Well, I was going to say, and you know, it was mostly Nathan's show, anyways. You know what I'm saying? Because you know they would say a couple words, but let's be honest, most of the jarble came from our man Nathan. So.
Oh yeah. And for a guy who hates press, man, I
Man,
love hearing him talk.
Huh?
Yeah. And he just, that down home, no, man, you know, we just went in the studio and just banged it out, motherfucker, and Snickers bars and shit. And it was great. It's always great. What's on your mind this week? We got a few minutes to talk.
I just I had a sad moment over this weekend, and I think I was going to break down the song.
Okay.
I can't fight this feeling any longer, yet I'm afraid to let it show.
Love this song.
What started out as friendship is now over. I just wish you would have told me before you hit that block button.
I love that
now
song.
I'm
Hi,
sitting
Jessica.
here and I'm waiting.
Oh, this is good.
And I think that I'm gonna get something clear. But the only thing you used to do is come over and make my beer disappear. And I was so sad. No, I'm not really sad.
Eddie, give me some tissue. Hold on, I got one over here. Hold on. Just stay with me.
You guys, it's over there, man. I know. It's a sad song. It's a sad song. All over America. How can you do that?
So man. Sad.
You gonna kneel?
Not until after the show.
Yes, that's about it. That's
a great song. That's a top 10 hit anywhere in the country, especially in Japan where they like crazy shit.
They love that
There's
shit.
a reason why guys like David Cassidy and like Rick Astley can have #1 records in Japan 30 years after their big hit because everything's a hit in Japan.
And the mic got blocked.
Something. If only you could make a Rammstein song like that. Ooh, the free to block the cave-in. Ach, the mean to block the cave-in. Don't feel bad. I got blocked too.
So,
last week we had the first cough ever. And this week we have the second cough ever. So what do I got? Well, since we last spoke, unfortunately, we lost the Red Sox in the playoffs. The Yankees have moved on. You had a good weekend in football. I had a shit weekend in football. Basically, it's just been another week in October, man.
Apparently, the only way you can beat the Falcons is if you have a Coke problem.
Yeah, because you get all jacked up on the yayo, then you go beat the shit out of the NFC champions. Man, and you know what's sad? I'm getting a lot of hate from Patriots fans on this. Not the ones that are sitting here in the studio now, but a lot of hate from Patriots fans until you say to them, look at your record and look at our record. What is that supposed to mean? They're identical, fucknut. Look at it. And guess who's playing this Sunday night at 8:30 on NBC?
Dolphins?
No.
New England?
New England and Atlanta.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
The rematch. So don't come at me with your bullshit. 3-2 is 3-2 no matter how you look at it. By the way, nice way to struggle against the Jets this weekend.
I'm not saying a damn thing.
No, you're not.
I'm not optimistic at all.
Neither am I. It's going to be probably a tie.
I'm in first place in the NFC North.
There you go.
And
The score's going to end up negative somehow.
Think so?
and Rodgers is out with a broken collarbone. Thank you. Did I get any thank you from any of my listeners? Any of you even reach out and say once, hey, Mike, thank you very much for taking Aaron Rodgers out, okay?
Tommy Summers did send. Well, he's a Vikings fan too.
Yeah,
Tell you what,
exactly. That don't count.
I won't give you a thank you, but I'll give you a sports intro.
Okay,
Counts?
it does count.
I want the devil's advocate one, though. I love him the fucking devil.
We're gonna have to work on that after the fantastic interview.
I know it hasn't happened lately.
I know.
We need a contrarian.
I know where there's one, but we don't want to talk to him.
I thought I was going to get a contrary for my song, but
Right? Maybe.
everybody loved it.
So the Aaron Rodgers thing, since you brought it up,
Yes.
Packers fans that I know, Packers fans that I don't
so
know,
heated.
Packers fans that somehow infiltrate the Atlanta Falcons message boards
Uh-huh.
are all basically saying, that's it, our year is done. Let's forget that there's 52 other guys on the team. Aaron's gone? Nope, we suck. We're waving the flag.
Yeah, but they're absolutely right. They
I don't disagree with that.
He is the only member on that team.
Yeah.
The problem with the Packers is they need that leader.
Mm-hmm.
They're all a bunch of kids except for Aaron Rodgers.
I would throw Clay Matthews into the mix.
No.
No?
He's a big kid, dude.
Okay.
Look at when he doesn't win, he throws temper tantrums. Am I not right?
Yeah.
And when he does win, he over celebrates. You know what I'm saying? He's not what I would like to consider a leader, sort of say. Aaron Rodgers is that leader. Hell, even their freaking coach, Mike McCarthy, he looks like he's like, maybe it's because he's got the eye problem, but he literally looks like a frog. And fucking when you fucking you flash gig a fucking frog when you like shine a flashlight at them and they're like this and their eyes fucking kook out. He looks like that like 24/7.
So he
like
could be the greeter at
24/7.
Walmart, is what you're
Very
saying.
much so. And not only that, though, it's like you could tell he himself, like when he goes at the players and says something, I guarantee the players are like, no, stop, coach, stop. Are you talking to me or him?
Yeah, that's
I
good.
really can't tell because one eye is over here and one eye is over there, and you ain't even looking at me, but you called my name out twice.
Is the season over for the Packers?
Yes, it is.
All right. So what is their record now? 2-3?
No, they're
2-2, 3-2.
No, 3-2, right? 3-2.
So you're saying that?
No. Yeah, 3-2. No, 4-2. We're week 6.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're 4-2, and they're tied with us, 4-2.
Are you?
But we beat them, so we're in first place.
Are you saying that these 4 wins are it, or are they going to sneak a couple more?
No, they'll sneak a couple more in.
6
I don't
and
know.
10.
I don't know who the second, whoever the first quarterback they threw in there, number 7. I'm not. Whoever you Packers fans are, chime in and let me know.
All
I
two of
think
you.
they're both are rookies. The first one that showed up, the darker skinned guy.
Wasn't Fleener part of that at one point?
Maybe I don't know who the second
Hello,
guy.
Lee.
I don't know who the second guy that they threw in there was, but he was better than the first guy. I really felt it, but no, I think for the most part, there's nobody left on that team, man. Not to mention they lost 3 other players defensively that game, and I don't know what happened to them. But if they lose them, they're done. And real quick, I don't know if you guys have seen the meme with your boy Ezekiel Elliott.
Eating
The cereals,
Yep.
and then they just put the L's in there. So he's literally gobbling up these L's. Whoever did that, oh my God.
Genius.
That shit was fucking genius. I love it.
Cowboy Nation is crying, and they're awfully silent right now.
Of course they're silent because they talked mad shit all last year. Oh, we're coming back with the Fury. We're coming back with the Vengeance. Dude, you know the only good thing that came out of Dallas this year?
WrestleMania?
No. Oh. Tony Romo on Thursday Night Football. Is he not fucking great?
He is really good.
Is he not fucking great,
really,
dude?
Really good.
I'm impressed.
To hear him break down some of those formations and tell you, okay, here's what's in his mind right now. As this person does this and this person swings to the left and then this one does the hokey pokey. Now watch what happens here. And every flick of the head, like you watched, I don't remember who was the Thursday, and the first one, Kansas City, New England.
Oh, yes, yes.
And he's saying, now watch Tom Brady. He's going to look to the right, and he's going to want you to watch the coverage shift. Now he's immediately going to swing his head to the left. All that coverage does not have time to make up for it. He's just going to blink. It's right there.
Right, exactly.
Fantastic.
And I was really surprised. From the first game that I heard him physically doing it, I
honestly thought
surprised.
that he'd get hurt on the way to the announce booth. That's what I thought. That's major commotion and the Army upstairs. Major commotion leads the Army with a fury and a vengeance like no other. So with 2 minutes to go, what we're going to do real quick, is he taking over for Collinsworth? He should. I think Collinsworth went to Sunday night, dude.
Yeah.
So, guys.
Oh, Collinsworth sucks.
Yeah. Collinsworth, I'm even mad that he's still in the Madden games. Yeah, exactly. So we're going to take a quick breather. We're going to come right back to you with Britt Lightning from Vixen. So stay tuned. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the greatest things I love about what we do here is getting to talk to musicians and authors and things like that, but it's even better when I can have a personal friend who has done it, made it, and done well for herself. Yes, I said herself. Ladies and gentlemen, the new guitarist for Vixen, Miss Britt Lightning. Britt, how are you today?
Hi, I'm great. What a great intro. Thank you.
Oh, we work hard on things like that.
He is. He's actually really good at it.
Well, thank you for saying
Practices in a mirror.
You
checks
should
in the
see
mail,
his own
guys.
intro. He does really good at it.
Checks in the mail, guys. I appreciate it. So for all you live streamers, you can see behind me, I have the picture of the band. Going from the left, there's Cher Ross, Roxy Petrucci. You got Janet Gardner. And over here on the right is our friend Britt. Now, Britt, the story has to be told. It was sometime around 2005, 2006-ish. I think it was a WASP show in Hartford. And you guys were playing the Underground. And
right.
Yep. And you went from the stage, they kind of darkened the lights, and everybody's turning around like, where'd the guitar player go? You were standing up on, I think it was the bar, doing just this fantastic solo. Before we talk about Jaded and Alejandro Sanz and Rachel Platten, when did you get started with the guitar?
Ooh, good question. I started when I was a freshman in high school. Before that, I was really into playing the flute in the school band and the jazz band and the wind ensemble. And then after that, I started really getting into Metallica and Van Halen, and I just thought that the flute wasn't as suitable for that kind of music as the guitar was.
You could have had a Jethro Tull band, for all you know, if you stuck with the flute.
That's true. That's true.
That would have been great.
Actually, we need a new Jethro Tull.
Yes.
We need a new Jethro Tull.
What people may not know is you got the guitar going, you got yourself a band. What was the first? Was Jaded the first band?
Yeah, well, technically, we had this cover band. My sister, who you know, and Abby was playing the drums at that point, and because she played bass and Jaded, but people don't know she's actually a really good drummer. But she's like, that's what she does more than any other instrument. But so she's 2 years younger than me, so she was in the band, and we started to do a little coffee house thing at the high school because there was no music program there at the time. And so we used to just jam out to covers, and then I ended up meeting Hillary, and then the whole Jaded thing came about a little after that.
I'd be remiss if I didn't throw a shout out here to both Abby and Hillary. Hillary is still drumming. My favorite part of the whole early days of Britt Lightning is going to the shows and seeing Abby in the corner with a stack of books after the gig. Abby is now a chiropractor, and doing rather well for herself. And if I'm not mistaken, just recently got married.
You are so up on things. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
It's
so
my
she's doing
job.
great. I know. And she would always be studying. I always tried to correct her, being like, thinking she's so lucky she has such a cool older sister. Like, I didn't have a cool older sister, you know, and she wanted no part of it.
I remember.
Like, we can drink underage. We're in a bar,
if we're
and we're not of age. And she was like, "Yeah, that's great. I've got math homework to do."
if we're talking cover bands, we're talking cover bands in the '90s at this point when you're in or late '80s, right? Late '80s in high school.
Britt's the youngin' of the band.
Oh, she's the young one. So
I'm
what year are we talking about for cover bands at this point?
Like 2001.
Okay.
So what are you guys covering at this? What was your go-to song when you guys were Stone Temple Pilots all day long? Nice.
Okay, so Stone Temple Pilots, Metallica, and those are the two.
Well, you threw in a little Van Halen there too, so you threw me for a loop. I'm thinking, okay, so maybe it's early '90s because Metallica was pretty big right back in the '90s. But then you threw that Van Halen at me, and I'm like, whoa, hold on. Not a lot of people appreciate Van Halen, you know.
Yeah, you know, when I started playing guitar, I mean, more grungy stuff was still in, and like Korn and stuff, and they didn't have like the guitar solos like. You know, when I was trying to just learn more how to solo and stuff, the older stuff had more of that going on. So that's why I'm like so into the 80s. Everybody's like, whoa, why are you so into like hair bands and stuff when you're, younger? But it was just because I just loved the technique during that time period. Yeah, with the guitar and everything.
Yeah.
So.
I'm going to go with both of you on this one because Britt's talking about technique, and you're saying real music. And you're right; it punches you right in the gut.
You just
grabs
felt
your
it.
attention.
You felt it, man. You absolutely. That was one of the things that really got me into music. I wasn't a big music fan until, say, those hair bands. And once those hair bands really started coming in, that was it for me. I was done, man. I'm growing the mullet, and I'm acting like I'm the damn drummer out there.
There's
man.
a reason I still go see acts like Slaughter and Kiss and all these fantastic bands that came up through that era because it's fun. You're not getting here's our bullshit single, Jenga, fuck off. Yeah. No, you're getting real, genuine emotion.
I like Jenga.
I know you would. You would like Jenga.
The Kanye remix.
Now, I just before the next question, I remember going to those gigs, and your mom was always there. I saw her at Mohegan, didn't get a chance to say hello. So, hi, band mom.
I know, and then I know she wished she saw you too. And then Ellery was actually there too, and then it was hard to all connect.
It was almost like an old Jaded Street Team reunion. And it missed its opportunity. I remember trying to sneak a beer past Mom to give one to Abby, and we knew she wasn't having it. But we tried anyway.
Yes, I know. Yep, my mom was always very supportive, running the merch stand, and then my dad was always like helping roadie and lug gear.
Yep.
So
getting those phone calls. The girls are going to be in Hartford. How many tickets do you want? Here's my credit card. Just take what you want. Leave me what you think I should have. That was the kind of support I threw to you guys. And with the back
you
in the,
are always so supportive.
One of the first conversations you and I ever had, I said, someday I'm going to see you play an arena. And you're like, oh, that's kind of nice and whatever. Probably blew me off thinking that I was just another schmuck. But no, I was serious. I thought it was going to be Jaded, the group, which had its member changes. Julie was your front person.
Yep.
And then when Abby decided to do full-time school bit, you got Laurel, the bassist, who I'm still in contact with to this day. You guys did some pretty big shows. I remember Loca Bazooka up at the airfield in Worcester. Every time one of those, and it's a knock to call them hair bands. Let's just say these awesome bands.
I used to like the term glam rock better.
I'll buy glam rock, Eddie. Thank you. But you go to see Winger, Jaded's going to be there. You go to see this band, Jaded's going to be there. And I would tell my friends, we would bring a posse. If you did a standalone show at the Lucky Dog in Worcester, here comes Chris and the posse. That was the Charlie Benante episode. We blew that out. But you guys were really, really awesome.
Got some quick comments.
Okay.
Everybody loves how down to earth you are. And Jessica, love some 80s and metal. Love some Iron Maiden, Dio, and Sabbath.
Wow, what do you think of Iron Maiden, Dio, and Sabbath? Obviously, everybody loves Dio.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I think everybody loves all those bands. I mean, how can you not? They shaped so many of the bands that are here today, like the newer bands now too. Yeah, I love them all. I'm probably a bigger Dio and Sabbath fan than Maiden, but I love them all.
Oh, absolutely.
I love Tony Iommi. He's awesome. I remember seeing down on the Heaven and Hell tour, one of the last ones that when Ronnie was singing, and just being right up front and right in front of Tony Iommi, and like he just had such a presence. Like he didn't have to move, he didn't have to do anything. Just stood there and was just his presence was like, whoa, he's a god.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And just so you guys can get a glimpse of how diverse Britt is with her music, some years ago you actually had a tryout with a very, very famous young lady singer. Would you like to talk about it?
Oh, I did. Are you referring to the Lady Gaga thing?
That is the one and the same that I'm referring to.
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah, well, that was interesting. So that was, I had, put a lot into Jaded and I always worked hard at that. And then after a certain amount of member changes, started to get a little frustrated. And, it's hard to keep everybody motivated and available when you're not making a lot of money. And, it's not easy. So, everybody has jobs and stuff. So, then I was like, man, maybe I should, I think I was telling a guitar tech friend of mine about it and how I was having trouble. And he was like, you should just play for somebody else and try to be like a hired gun. And just, all you have to do is show up and play guitar. You don't have to worry about booking and writing and then, just pulling everything together all the time. So I was like, huh. And he goes, actually, I was out at the NAMM show here in California, and he told me, he was telling me about that, and he said, Gaga's holding an open audition. She's replacing her whole band in New York. I think it's tomorrow. And I was like, whoa, I'm flying home tomorrow. He was like, you should go. So I flew home. Didn't really know any of her songs because I wasn't really into it. But Paparazzi was the single that was out. Oh no, Bad Romance. That was the latest one that had just come out. And, that was cool. I just went down and, it was a weird open audition, tons of people, in New York City. And they were kind of like, just play anything. There was like a bunch of judges. It almost felt like a TV show, like it was a spoof thing. Kind of like an American Idol thing. It was weird. And then, we went through a couple rounds and kept getting called back. And, we made it to the final round there. Didn't get it in the end, but it was a great experience and it was very interesting.
And that's a cool story to tell anybody. Not everybody in the world can say, I auditioned for Lady Gaga to be in her band.
Was Lady Gaga a part of any of that personally, or just you didn't get past
wait,
the...
Sorry, I didn't hear the beginning. Can you say that again?
Was Lady Gaga a part of all that, or you couldn't get past the...
Oh, no, I did. She wasn't for like the first 2 or 3 days. And then the last, I think there was like 3 more days at the very end. It was a pretty long audition process. It was almost like a week or something like that, or maybe like 5 or 6 days. And then the last few days, we went to this undisclosed location. We had like a car pick us up and brought us to a place in Jersey, and it was a sound stage, and we just auditioned. She was there, fashionably late, of course, but she was just sitting in front and giving direction and saying, "Oh, you move. How about we try it again? But you go stage left this time, or you move over here." And so it was cool. Yeah, so definitely got to.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine anyone who plays for her has to be like part of the act. So it must have been tough.
That's a great point. Was there a lot of choreography involved in the audition, or it was just stand here, move here, pantomime this?
No, not really. Not choreography so much. She really just wanted, I think, visually to see what the band would look like. Okay, so what if we have a blonde guitarist over here, or a guy over here? Kind of just not so much moves, but more just
makes sense.
Piecing it together. Yeah.
Maybe you looked better than she did. Maybe that was the end result.
Depends on what character she's playing.
I like the meat dress myself. That's where I'm going to leave
Lady
it.
Gaga's got like 3 characters that she plays. So
I don't know, but she did say that she wanted me to shave my head to be in the band. So
whoa!
Wow.
That's a giant no.
I know. I was thinking.
I was going to say, would you have shaved your head to be in the band, though?
Would I have? I told her yes on the spot, but I wasn't planning on it.
All right. Credibility restored. All right. Feeling better. Heart can go back into my chest now. Now, from there, I know you went on to work with, I hope I'm saying his name right, he's an international star. If you ever go online and look at the stuff Britt did with him, you're looking at seas of people, like 30,000, 40,000 people. Alejandro Sanz, am I saying that right?
Yeah, very good. It's
Thank you.
like your Spanish.
Well, the most of the Spanish I know came from the menu at Taco Bell, so let's not give me too much credit. So how do you get hooked up with Alejandro, and then seeing all the pictures, being your friend for all these years of you in these great exotic locations? How does that happen?
You know, it actually all comes back to the Lady Gaga thing, which is funny. So that was my first audition that I ever went on. And even though I didn't get it, it was maybe like a year later, maybe 8 months to a year after that, I got a call from somebody that I had met there, another musician. And he was like, hey, remember me? I met you at the Gaga auditions, and we exchanged info. Well, I've got this guy, Alejandro, and he's looking for a female guitar player, and you were the first person I thought of. I remember seeing you audition, and I think you'd be perfect. So that's how that happened. So the whole Gaga thing wasn't a total loss after all. So, and I feel like actually all my gigs kind of came out from that one audition, too. There was another person, another guitar player there that helped me out a lot, recommending me for things. So, yeah, it kind of all came right from that. But the Alejandro thing was the best experience. Amazing music. I got to learn how to play a whole new style. I learned Spanish. I learned how to flamenco dance. I learned about, all the Latin cuisines and stuff. So that was just so great. Great team of people, an amazing band. And Alejandro himself was like the most genuine and authentic, humble person. So it was such a treat to work with him. I
always try to tell Jabroni the same thing. There's more to Latino food than just what's on the Taco Bell menu.
I've learned. I've gone to Moe's now.
And he's starting to see it. He's starting to see it. But no, it is very delicious food. Hey, Britt, let me ask you something. So some people, when they're, especially being a guitarist, some people, they have those moments when they're just kind of like down and out, and they put on their favorite song. As a guitarist, do you have a favorite song, or do you just kind of whip out the guitar and you just kind of like play something? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, if I'm like down and out.
Yeah, if you're just kind of bumming, like sometimes like I'm bumming and I'll throw on like one of my favorite country tunes just to kind of like get me back into the flow of things. Well, I always kind of assume it's a little different for an artist because you guys literally make the music. So do you listen to the music, or do you just kind of, is that when you almost make your best songs, is like when you're kind of like strumming on that at that moment?
Usually to get into the zone, I'll usually not just start, I guess it depends, but if I just like walked in and I haven't been playing, I kind of like to like just jam out over, like improvise over one of my favorite songs. And a lot of times I go, when I'm moody, I go to like Comfortably Numb or any Pink Floyd. My favorite Pink Floyd album was Wish You Were Here. Shine On You Crazy Diamond. I could just play that top to bottom and just jam over that. And that's kind of my go-to album.
Nice. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Now, something you had said in your last answer I was going to save it for later, but I may as well say it now. When I refer to Britt Lightning, not Brittany, my friend, but Britt Lightning, I never say the word female guitarist. I always say guitarist. Does it bother you at times that you're pigeonholed into this female gimmick? Because you are female, let's be honest, but to me, a guitarist is a guitarist, whether you're playing country music, metal, rock and roll, what have you.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think just even though it's like 2017, it's that people still are surprised when they see female musicians, of all sorts, even like a female bass player or a female drummer. It's like, oh wow, there's a chick drumming. Like, it's like, well, yeah, why couldn't a chick drum, or play guitar or whatever?
Well, they think female drumming ended with Sheila E., I guess, back in 1986.
I think it ended before.
Yeah,
she
right.
Most people don't even know she was a drummer.
No, exactly.
No.
Most of
But-
them just think that
but
she was a
again,
lead singer dancer.
Right, but going back to the deal is like I've watched Britt and the girls in action. And I only say Britt and the girls because that's who you are to me. You're not
Yeah.
famous rock people. You're my friends. And I tell people, oh, we're going to see this local act. If you ever got a chance back in the day to see Jaded, that was real ass rock and roll. That was kick you in the nuts rock and roll. Doesn't matter that they're women. It matters that they're going to kick your ass each and every time you guys went out.
It's kind of like that with every scene, though.
I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
It's like that with every scene, though, because when I was coming up in like the club and rave scene, you always had parties of female DJs and stuff. So they pigeonhole everybody. It's terrible.
But it just doesn't matter. I mean, I understand.
It really doesn't.
Look at acting. Just to get off subject for a minute before the next question. You know, you have Tom Cruise over here and you have Sandra Bullock over here. Both fantastic thespians. Not the other word.
Both great women in entertainment.
Okay, fair enough. But they have the actor and actress category, but they don't say, oh, Sandra Bullock's real good for a lady. No, they just say she's fantastic
that's so
at what
true.
she does. Because right now
Right.
on the line, we have one of my favorite guitarists ever in Britt. Not just my friend, but a great guitar player. Orianthi has brought female guitar even further. There's been some fantastic female musicians who are just as good, if not better, than male musicians. But again, it comes that stigma, that pigeonhole is like, oh, she's real good for a girl.
And they put the pressure on a little bit harder, too. Like, if one of these goes wrong, you know, if they go full Courtney Love, they'll be like, oh, this is setting women rock and roll musicians backwards.
You never go full
Can
Courtney
I
Love.
play devil's advocate for a
sure
change?
can. He's going to roll the graphic right now.
I'm just saying.
Even
One
now,
of
the evil
most
seed
incredible
of what
things I
you've
witnessed
done
growing up.
germinates within
Not only
you.
could she sing,
I'm
but
a
she could play
fan
guitar. And I want to say maybe at that point in my life that whole genre thing was broke for me because I almost felt like she was a better guitarist than some of the guys I was listening to before I actually found her.
I'd rather listen
Kiss Me Deadly
right?
was probably the first song I ever heard from her, and I'm like, wait a minute, I want to know who the guitarist is on this. You know what I'm saying?
You found her.
And I found out it was her.
I'd rather
and it
listen.
blew my fucking
I'd rather
mind.
listen to Lita Ford than hear CeCe DeVille play a million notes a minute. And I like Poison. Don't get me wrong. I go to their shows. I think I probably ran into Britney at one of their shows too. But I would rather hear straightforward, kick him in the ribs, rock and roll guitar playing like Lita does than a million miles a minute.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then recently, I don't know if you saw it, but Lita actually went on stage with Lizzie Hale.
Yes.
And they did Close My Eyes together, forever together, and it was freaking amazing. It was freaking amazing. They were both out there jamming on the
cool. I didn't
guitar.
see that.
Oh, look it up on YouTube. It's Lita Ford and Lizzie Hale sing Close My Eyes Forever, and Lizzie does obviously Ozzy's part. But man, they're both jamming out, and what a freaking fantastic song! And
Lizzie Hale's another one.
And exactly, they funded the way for this. And I mean, unfortunately, there are the bands like say the Bangles, and shit like that kind of like got thrown in the mix, and it was because that they were females. They tried to sell it off, and we were kind of like spoon fed this bullshit. Four Non-Blondes.
Oh, Christ.
Unfortunately, I felt like they were played off in the wrong way.
They were great musicians, though.
Exactly. That's my point. If you would have let them be what they wanted to be instead of trying to make them, like you're saying, quote unquote, female artists, then I think they'd still be around to this day. Maybe even be a power band. Who knows? Because I thought they were pretty good.
Artists like Alanis and Pink, where they started out, they were like pop artists, and then they're like, I don't want to do this, and now they're a little more harder edge and stuff. And same thing with who's that Canadian girl there?
Avril Lavigne.
Yeah, same thing. She got a little harder edge.
The edgier she got, the better I liked her, because that whole
Same
complicated
idea.
bit,
Exactly.
yeah, that was.
But they try to sell it off as the girl image, and it's like sometimes if you just let the artist be the artist, we'll see more. We'll feel more. We'll appreciate it more.
Well, that's that first album curse. The first album is usually how the label wants it.
Absolutely.
Period. That's
Absolutely.
just what
You
that's
can't
the
be
nature of the
look,
beast.
Look at Pink.
Exactly.
Look at Pink's first album to where she is now.
Right.
Or hell, just I don't know about you guys if you know Kesha too much. You know what I'm saying?
A little bit.
But Kesha's newest song that
really good.
It's incredible. But she has been through so much that's not Kesha no more. That's that's a whole other
who's she working
artist.
with now? She's working with Zed or something.
Yes,
right?
yes, Zed, yes.
They're doing an amazing job with her.
Oh, they're letting her become her finally, and that's my point.
It's empowering too.
Exactly. It not only is it empowering, but when you're typecasted, much like we were just saying, like this. Okay, oh my God, that's a female guitarist. Holy crap, that's a female drummist. When you're typecasted in that aspect, it sucks. Number one for the artist because now they are stuck as that. Now, unless they break the mold or unless something dramatic, right? Exactly. Right. Unless something dramatic happens, they don't ever change.
Right.
And then you get stuck with the 4 non-blondes. You know.
Right. Well, speaking of the empowerment thing, little story is when I hurt my back and one day I lost the remote and I'm stuck watching the Today Show, a show that I hate. Hate the Today Show. Don't like watching it. I'd rather watch CBS.
But it made you the
News.
man you are today.
It kind of did that one day because they said coming up is you guys are familiar with Fight Song, Rachel Platten, correct?
Yes.
You guys around the table.
I saw her live at the fair.
Fantastic.
Remember a couple of years ago she came out.
Yes. And there I am sitting down watching, and here comes Rachel Platten, and immediately my instinct is find the remote, change the channel, and I look up at the television. I'm like, wait a minute. That girl looks awfully familiar playing guitar next to Rachel Platten on her piano. It was Britt Lightning. How did you get the gig with Rachel Platten?
That one came along, actually, from a different musician, that guitar player that I mentioned earlier that I met at the Lady Gaga auditions. He was also auditioning, and he has gone on to make a whole, musician referral company, and he pieces bands together. And he helped me out and referred me for that one.
When are you going to replace Tommy Thayer in Kiss?
And what would be your what would be your face paint if you did?
Whatever Gene wants.
Oh yeah, good point. We're not going to put Britt in the Vinnie Vincent makeup.
Oh my gosh!
Come on, have you ever thought about doing that? What would be your face paint if you were ever invited to Kiss?
I mean, I'd have to, continue on with the lightning bolt somewhere, I'll have to do a sketch. I'll have to sketch one up, and I'll send it to you.
Yeah, I would love that. I would love that.
Just don't let Gene see it.
Yeah. I think he already hates us because the leader of the Kiss Army is a favorite guest of ours, Bill Starkey.
That man is obsessed with his intellectual property.
Oh my God! But
he didn't mind making potato head dolls.
That's true. How was it playing? You go from the hard rock and roll with Jaded. You go to the international Spanish flair of Alejandro. Now you're playing with Rachel Platten, which is more pop oriented. Was that a hard transition for you?
No, but probably the most challenging part was to not play too much because, keep it simple, play it like the record is pretty much, what the goal was there when you're doing like the Today Show or something. People want to hear it like the single, So it was like, don't throw in a little fill, don't throw in a fixed slide here, just play it as it is. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that was cool too because that's a learning experience too, like just lay back and be cool and.
Yeah, I was going to say that's a very vocal song. I mean, a very empowering song.
And she sings her heart out.
Very empowering song, absolutely.
I may not be all about the bubblegum pop and the empowerment songs.
I ain't either, but I'll tell you what, I could probably whip about 50 freaking push-ups out there in that song.
Like I said, she was at the fair a couple years ago, and I heard a lot of her set. She's not very bubblegum. She's pretty decent as far as pop stars go.
And because I wasn't there, I have to agree with that, but the stuff that has been fed to us via the radio or...
Well, let's put it this way. I'll just give you a tune to her character because I heard a story when I was at the fair. She went from making $1 million a show to taking a $10,000 minimum because she booked the Woodstock Fair before she got famous, and she still willingly came and did the show.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah, she's really good. Character. Yeah, she's a really good person, and she was a really great artist.
Now the question is,
Britt, she's from Massachusetts too.
Oh, no kidding!
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
and she's also like a virtuoso.
That's why she did the fair.
She's like just classically trained. I don't know if she does it now in her show so much, but she's like a phenomenal piano player.
Fantastic. Now, you've also had some great side projects that I've been able to catch over the years. There was Chick 6. There was the Heart Tribute Band that I saw. And the one that you are doing in L.A., I don't know if you're still doing it on the side now that you're with Vixen, was Paradise Kitty, the Guns N' Roses tribute.
Yeah, that was super fun. I'm not doing that anymore just because we're going to be ramping up and getting really busy with some Vixen dates, especially next year. So I couldn't really commit to both. But, yeah, that was super fun and got to play all the cool LA clubs that I always wanted to, like the Whiskey and Viper. And
I was going to say,
all rock.
To see you at the Whiskey on the stage, the same stage that Vince Neil and Eddie Van Halen and all these huge people were on, I'm like, dude, my girl made it. My girl made it.
The Viper Room?
I know. When I first went there, I was like, damn, this is cool, because I just remember sitting, around in high school, just like reading every, the dirt and all the, every book that was ever written about the Sunset Strip and just all the history. And I was like, oh, wow, I'm like actually on this stage now. That is cool.
But did you make Toads?
Oh, I think have you played Toads in New Haven?
Toads, yes.
Fuck yeah!
There you go.
We did play Toads. I think we played there twice.
You're not anybody unless you play Toads.
The infamous Brian Phelps let you play at Toads. The man who turned down Madonna let you play at Toads.
But he let Henry Rollins play there.
Fuck yeah!
Brittany, I used to DJ at Toads Plays. I know the owner. That guy's got terrible taste in music, so you're lucky he let you play.
Oh.
He let Paul Stanley play there, and his solo act was garbage.
He let Bad Fish play there 3
That's
times.
True.
So.
Living Color played there. Run DMC.
I know.
They all got photos all over the place.
I've seen so many great bands at Toad's Place. Great question, but nothing beats the Whiskey. I'm sorry. And if I ever get out to L.A., I'm going to sit in Lemmy's seat at the Rainbow because that's my guy.
Oh yeah, you have to. That's much.
Oh my Lord. So I think it was a year ago or 2 years ago, the world got the tragic news about Jan from Vixen passing from cancer. And
4 years ago.
Was it 4? Wow. See, I'm getting old. I thought
4
it was like
this year, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. You're agreeing that I'm old, or you're agreeing that I'm wrong on the date?
Well, you know what's interesting though? You know what's cool? We opened for Jan one time.
Really?
I briefly met her one time at the Webster, yeah. I don't remember what year it was, but she was doing a version of Vixen.
I remember that. I didn't go to the show, but I do remember that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
that was pretty cool. So I actually was lucky enough to meet her once.
And I think it was a little less or a little more than a year ago that the world got the news that Vixen has a new guitar player, and there you are. Is this another musician referral thing, or did you seek this out on your own?
No, I didn't know the position was available. What ended up happening was, let me think, I was playing a show and their manager was there and saw me play and I think knew that there was some issues with the current lineup and so he thought of me and he just recommended me to the girls in the band and they did some research and they were like, oh, seems cool, let's give it a go, try it out, and it kind of just all fell into place. And
almost like the AC/DC story.
Not too far from it, yeah. Not
AC/DC,
unlike AC/DC back in the day with
Scott pretty much
Brian
picked
Johnson.
Brian Johnson said, if something happens to me, he replaces me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, and it's crazy because if you really, most bands, I mean, you have the lead singer and you have my dog that knocks shit over.
You take over.
We have the lead singer and then you also have the lead guitarist. And there's two different aspects of this band, but they're also very unique in their own way, and they make the band what they are. Was it hard to fill in that role?
This meeting all the girls, everybody has this great energy and no egos or anything, and they're also easy to work with, and they were all supportive of letting me kind of do things in the style of my own, but still representing the music. And so everybody was really open and easy to work with. And so it kind of just felt natural just jumping into it.
So you're saying that really, guys have bigger egos when it comes to bands?
Oh, yeah.
Without question.
Yeah,
DJs
I do
too.
think that. You would think an all-girl band would have more drama, but I think it's absolutely the opposite.
There's a reason back in '82 why Robin Crosby of Rat was not hired to replace Ace Frehley and Kiss, because Robin Crosby, his nickname is the King. He thought he was the greatest of all time. Ego. I'm quite sure anybody who's ever met Yngwie Malmsteen, and I have met Yngwie Malmsteen, he thinks you should kiss the ring the moment you meet him. But that's Yngwie.
That's crazy. That's awesome. Right. That's awesome.
Was it difficult for you? I know that Vixen had a certain image in the late 80s, and obviously anybody who saw them recently anywhere, I saw you guys at Mohegan Sun, you know, it's toned down from the big hair, giant white boots, et cetera, so forth, image of the 80s. Is it difficult to replace someone? All the people I spoke to, I'm going to see Vixen. My friend's a new guitar player. Oh, she's taking over for the ultra-hot guitar player who passed away. Is it difficult to not only replace someone who was so beloved by the fan base, but who was looked at as a goddess amongst their fan base?
I mean, yeah, those are easy shoes to fill. That's for sure. And I mean, I don't compare myself to her exactly. I look up to her. I think she was a really underrated guitar player. I think she was amazing, and she's definitely absolutely gorgeous. It had great style, and from every story I've ever heard, was just a really nice, down-to-earth person, which is awesome. So, I mean, I just I try to do my homework and, you know, study how she plays and, you know, do the song justice and represent, you know, what she was trying to bring, you know?
Because all that old music is there if the people want it. So you really got to kind of carve your own niche. You don't really need to replace anybody, you know?
Yeah, but, you know, the fans have been awesome. Like, everybody I've met has been super supportive and welcoming. So I appreciate all that.
How have the ladies been? Cher, Janet, Roxy?
Oh, how are they?
Yeah.
Oh, they're awesome. They're super cool. I feel like they're my sisters.
Don't say it because they signed the check. Say it because you mean it.
No, we want some real world LA stuff. Come on.
No, we don't.
I know you put some dirt. I don't really have any of those.
No, that's why I said. That's why I was saying that more. It seems like more of the egos come from the male bands. It
exactly.
Really, and it's funny thing is, you would literally say, "Oh, well, it seemed like the females would have quote unquote more drama," but it seems like they were very much fucking welcoming. I mean,
the ego is an old school mentality for selling yourself. You know, the loudest, most boisterous.
I don't know. It's still around. Ego is very much still around.
What I'm saying is left over from what you used to have to do to get noticed. You had, you know, like you had to be like a David Lee Roth, you know, to get noticed.
Right.
And, you know, women entered rock and roll a little bit later, probably like the 70s. I think they started making their mark. And
Janis Joplin really
you know, they like, look, Janis Joplin, great musician, not much to look at. So she had to be an incredible musician because she didn't really have a huge image.
Most people
sell.
didn't know when she first started off, she sang in the background.
Right.
And people were trying to figure out who the lead singer was. She wasn't going to let herself be known before finally a couple shows in.
There was a lot of musicians that were like that back then. Like Jimi Hendrix didn't like to be looked at when he played.
So he'd play in the back and he'd sing in the back.
He hated the sound of his own voice.
See him, which is absolutely insane. We're so stuck on image, you know, so stuck on image that even somebody as successful as Janis Joplin had that image problem, had that image deal, you know?
Right. Now, getting back to Brittany, were you a fan of Vixen coming up, or was that a band that entered your radar late?
No, I mean, when I was getting into all the hair band stuff, they were definitely my radar because, you know, there weren't many female bands at all. I mean, it was like, Lita Ford, and then it was the Vixen. I didn't have an guitar I liked a lot too, but like as far as, you know, female guitar players, there weren't.
You're right, not a lot. I'm trying to.
We had Heart.
Heart
was the first.
In
my opinion, the first band that I ever came across, like as far as the guitarist and lead singer, and then you'd have discussion with your boys. Oh no way, the lead singer's fucking hot. No, guitarist is way hotter, man. Come on,
I was gonna say, you remember what they used to do in the music videos? It was like all her, and then the singer was pushed in the background.
Yeah, exactly.
I used to hate that.
But I'm running through my Rolodex. I can think of like maybe Femme Fatale or Lorraine Lewis.
There's really not a whole lot. No, there really is not. Absolutely not.
What was the Christ? It was a Canadian band. They did If the Walls Could Talk. I vividly remember seeing them open for Alice Cooper once. Skew Siskin, maybe. Female guitar player, female singer.
Yeah, maybe, dude.
One
Holy
album
crap.
done.
I was going to say like one and done.
But
yeah,
she was good.
No, that's just it. They do bring out some good songs.
I don't know her name, but didn't was it Springsteen or somebody have a female guitarist?
At one point, I think so.
Yeah, I didn't know her name for the life of me, but like she used to like really rock out too and stuff with Springsteen.
Okay. So you've been around the world. You're doing your thing. You are now firmly entrenched in Vixen. And some inside dirt for those of you who are listening to this show who do not follow Vixen or Britt Lightning on Facebook, Twitter, etc. You guys are recording right now.
Jessica brings up Jefferson Airplane and White Rabbit.
But she was a singer, though, man. Grace Slick was the singer. She didn't play an instrument. The Mamas and the Papas might come close to that. I'll give Jessica a little credit.
And I was going to say the same thing. Same thing. A lot of people will turn around and say Fleetwood Mac, but she was a singer, and the rest of the thing, that was...
Twirled her dress the entire time.
I
got no
a lot of her solo stuff she played, though.
Okay.
Stevie Nicks.
Yeah. Right. Later.
I watched the
Later.
I watched a documentary with her, and she plays a lot of guitar, actually.
No, later.
I stand
later,
corrected.
Absolutely.
Well, how are you guys? You guys are in the studio now, right?
Yes, we just did a little bit. We just got out. It was a quick little, time in there, but we wish we had more time, but we're going to do more later. But we went in and just worked on a new single and a newer version of one of the classics. So
you're not going to tell us which one are you?
Soon.
You're not going to tell us which one are you?
You'll have to wait.
All right.
Is it easier recording now than it was then with the technology, or do you find it more of a pain in the ass?
Now versus back in the day?
Yeah.
Back in the tape time, that would have been tough to make edits and stuff.
Tapes, absolutely. But I mean, we're talking. I think at this point, you're more like the CD genre as opposed to like the MP3s genre. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Technology has really jumped up within the last decade alone. You know what I'm saying?
So when Jaded made their record in 2005. The recording process, obviously, in the last 12 years, has changed.
Exactly.
Yeah,
do you find it right? Do you find it easier or more distractive now?
No, I think it's easier. And a lot of it's almost easier too because for amps and stuff like that, you can use like a modeling amp, so then you can kind of record the signal in, and you can always change the sound afterwards and stuff like that. So that's kind of cool. I say things have improved to get simpler. I mean, you can still get the good, there's so much great software that you can, tweak to make the quality sound, like you want it. You can make it sound old. You can make it sound like it was recorded on tape. You can kind of do anything now. So it's pretty cool.
Excellent. So we don't want to take up too much more of your time. I'm going to share a secret with you. Obviously, I'm going to bring this picture back. Guys, this is Vixen. From the left to the right, Cher Ross, Roxy Petrucci, Janet Gardner, and our friend Britt Lightning. Now, I'm going to share a secret with you. You cannot tell the band. Promise me.
Okay.
Okay, I am a 17-year-old boy back in 1861, or the late 80s, whatever you prefer. I had, and seeing her on stage the other night was just the end of it. I'm like, wow, she is still one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen. Cher Ross was my go-to crush back in the 80s.
Yeah. She still is just drop-dead gorgeous.
And the fact that she could do something like Vixen and go on, I know she did Contraband for a little while with that all-star lineup. Yeah. That was fantastic. She's always been on my radar as, if I ever got a hall pass, Cher Ross is the one. Bada bing.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll pass it on.
No, because the next time you come to town, she's going to be like, where's the pervert? I'm trying to build relationships here, Brett, not tear them down.
Is it being a pervert or is it being honest?
I can put in a good word for you. I'm just saying.
I have a good one right now. She's the best thing that ever happened to me. You met her.
I know that.
So don't get me in trouble. I still have to go.
Say hello.
I certainly will. I still have to go home tonight,
Yeah.
She might give you a free one.
Maybe. Your question, Michael.
No, I would say that was perfect, man. It was absolutely perfect. She had your back.
Yes.
She had your back, and she was looking out for you. But at the same time, she still had an opening for you, man. That's fucking awesome.
Still playing wingman for you.
Awesome. Well, we certainly appreciate all the time you've given us. And
do not forget your Kiss face paint. We're looking forward to that. All right.
Okay, I will follow up with you on that.
Okay, wait. We got one more question.
I want one final question, and this is the important one.
Okay.
Did Vinnie Vincent save Kiss?
Exactly. No. If you could play with any dead artist, who would it be?
With any dead artist?
Yes.
Yep, that is no longer with us.
That's a good question.
Let's say there's a heaven and they're putting a band together and you get a chance to play with whoever. Can be anybody.
I mean, I would love to jam with Jimi Hendrix. That would be pretty damn cool.
Yeah.
Wait, I just thought of a question.
I'd love to be in a band with Jim Morrison too. That'd be pretty awesome.
Yeah, I was gonna say Jimi Hendrix, Jim Morrison, and I know he's not dead yet, but Phil Collins could probably play the drums for your band, and that would be pretty badass.
But if you have to choose dead people, throw Eric Carr and Dimebag Darrell in that group.
Oh, there you go. But see, Dimebag's gonna take her spot.
No. Jamming with Tom Petty would be pretty cool. I'd love to.
There you go.
That's my boy.
And by the way, big ups to you guys for doing the Tom Petty tribute during the show.
Yeah.
That was fantastic.
Heard about that.
Oh, thanks.
Heard about that.
Yeah, I had to do that.
Now, going on the Tom Petty bit, that same weekend was the Las Vegas tragedy. When you guys go out on the road again, is there any thought and extra security or fear in your mind that this could happen to you, and what kind of precautions do you plan on taking?
I don't think about it. I don't know. I don't think you can live in fear.
That's rock and roll,
right? You shouldn't think about it.
I do remember when Don was shot, thinking holy shit! You could just you're so vulnerable up here. There's so many crazy people. Anything could just happen at any given moment, but you just can't let any threat stop you from living your life and doing what you want to do. So I mean, it's awful that you have to think about that, and it's awful that I always think about exits every time I go into any type of public building or movie theater. But you just gotta be aware and prepared for you can just know that anything
they control
can
it, the music dies, man.
Yeah, pretty much. The minute the bad people control it, you're right.
The music dies, dead. And then that's it, man.
That's right.
Music dies, and it's over for everybody. That's the done. That's the finito. So no, we
can't let fear win.
Exactly.
Brittany, thank you for the music. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being my friend. And we hope that in the future, maybe we could arrange it that we could do a video Skype thing, not only with you, but the rest of the band Vixen. And we will make it a live stream podcast, and let's have some fun.
Cool. That would be awesome. Well, I'll follow up with you on that. And thank you so much for having me. And yes, for always being my friend and your continuous support always. It's really appreciated.
I don't care if you were playing rap music, I'd support you.
That says a lot.
I'd be a little angry, but I'd support it. And don't tell Cher my secret. At least not while I'm listening.
Okay.
All right, Brittany,
thank you guys both so much. Great talking to you.
All right.
Free tickets.
Free tickets? We'll see.
Have a good night.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be back in Connecticut soon, back on the East Coast at least somewhere.
Let me know. These guys would love to come meet you, and I always enjoy being in your presence.
Oh, thank you. Likewise. It was so great to see you. I wish we had more time to hang out when we were together. But
you were doing business. It's all good. Thanks again, Britt. We'll talk to you soon.
Good night.
Okay, thank you.
Good night.
Okay, bye-bye. Good night.
What do you guys think?
Awesome.
She is fantastic.
She sounds like a lot of fun.
Down to earth.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. It's just like I was bringing up the point earlier. It's, you expect, especially the way that we're brought up and this whole female bring drama thing, that it would be, a drama fest. But it just seems like they were so fucking cool and so controlling that it just would seem like a band like Poison wouldn't be able to take a replacement for CeCe without having a big issue. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's awesome to hear something like that. And it's awesome to know that even though it's typecasted as a genre freaking
female
band.
metal band.
Exactly. That they not only broke the mold, but they can bring you some real fucking music that actually means something and actually rocks. You know
Absolutely.
what I'm saying? Point being, Four Non-Blondes, we both agree that they are hell of a musicians.
They certainly had a bigger future than they actually encountered.
They got. And the sad part was because they got sold the way that they were. They were like the were like the hippie Bengals for crying out loud.
When your first hit is so huge that you have nowhere to go but down. The rest of that record, if anybody ever had the Four Non-Blondes record, it was fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely.
There were 3 or 4 other songs I could have seen be the lead single, have What's Up come later on.
I would say like the 6th song. Like the 6th song on that album, just to bring the life back.
I don't remember
the
name.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But no, absolutely. Because that was the thing with that one was she hit the high notes and she was singing the high notes the whole fucking song. You know what I'm saying? You still have people to this day come to my karaoke bar and ask for that song, and I almost want to cut them off like, whoa, no, you can't hit that note. Slow the fuck down, okay?
Very few can.
Just because it was a one-hit wonder does not mean the song sucked, okay? You have to get that through your fucking heads. The problem was they didn't know how to sell these girls. They just thought all we have to do is put a girl band out there and people are going to buy their fucking records. The problem was, no, it didn't work that way. You didn't know how to sell them. You didn't know what songs to put out there for. You put their power fucking song, the first song out, and people were done. You can't beat a song like that.
And now
man.
Throwing it back to Vixen, their first single, if I remember correctly, was "Edge of a Broken Heart," which was not the best tune on the record.
But
the second one, "Crying," and then "Love Made Me," which was the third single.
Right.
Oh
but
my God!
The first one made you
take
listen.
Notice. Yeah,
right. Exactly. Hell, fucking Poison. I want to say their first the breakthrough from Look What the Cat Dragged In. It wasn't Look What the Cat Dragged In.
Nope.
It was
Talk Dirty to
yes,
Me.
Talk Dirty to Me was that was the second one that came out because Look What the Cat. Thank you.
I had to think back.
I was going to say because dude, I know those. And when the first one came out, you were like, this ain't Poison. What the fuck is this shit?
I thought they were some ugly chicks.
But it made you go out and get the album.
It certainly
And then
did.
when you listened to the album, you were like, dude, why aren't they playing this shit?
Since when are chicks named Bobby and Ricky? Well, now in 2017 that could happen, but back then I was like, oh, these chicks can play.
No,
They're named Bobby and Ricky and Brett.
They fucking rocked it, man. They fucking rocked it.
Yeah,
well, I think that's why they like I said, I preferred the term glam rock. I think that's why they got rid of the term glam rock and went with hairband. Because they were trying to break away from that feminized makeup.
It was
and
glam.
everything.
It was glam.
That was the idea
Let's
behind it.
Let's fucking be honest with you. Yeah. Every fucking album that came out past that the glam rock got even worse. Between the fucking bushy fucking like the pink blush all over their cheeks. I mean,
it got beyond the point.
Beyond, exactly. They were like literally look like Warrant.
And sometimes
you remember Warrant, their fucking first one, the Dirty Rotten Filthy Stinking Rich, and you open up that and they were literally had blush. And they had fucking lipstick and eyeliner, and you were like...
But I love the fact...
It was supposed to be anti-culture or counterculture.
Yes,
right.
Yes.
But I liked as they went along, and you could point to, like, Poison, the Vinnie Vincent Invasion. I'm trying to think of the other... what the hell? I can see them now. The picture's in my head.
Saigon Kick. No, I'm just...
No. I want to say...
Whole Surfers?
I want to say Pretty Boy Floyd. Just more makeup than any one of your mother, aunts, uncles would ever wear. We're not talking about Kiss theater makeup. We're talking about... They look like chicks with
Twisted
dicks. Twisted Sister
was horrible. I mean, granted, that was their image because they were Twisted Sister. But, dude, they were bad.
Oh, yeah.
It was
They were bad. They were badass.
Alice Cooper.
That was
even jumping
early.
Late. Remember when he came back? Feed My Frankenstein and all that other shit, dude? He started doing that fucking glam rock shit. But he really started coming back with that glam rock shit, too.
Will Chabot says, thank God for Dan Malloy.
Stick
what
around.
the fuck are you talking about?
Stick around, Will. Wait to hear top 10.
He's...
Will's playing.
Wait, Will's being a douchebag right now.
No, Will's good people.
No, he's just being a douchebag about the Malloy comment.
To watch some of these bands move forward out of, look, we need to stop looking like something we'd screw after the show and start putting ourselves out there. Rat was another one.
Yes.
And when Rat toned it down and just let the music speak.
Winger was a fucking bad one because they wanted to be so hard. but
they still look like chicks.
But then they just turned on the makeup and you were like, wow. I really do want to fuck Kick Winger.
Right.
Right in his bunghole.
Dang. I never thought that. Not in the least.
He was a good-looking girl. I thought at first...
Until he grew that beard? Yes.
I thought him and the chick that danced on the fucking car in the White Snack video were the same fucking person.
Tawny Katane.
I thought they were the same person.
You never see him in the same room.
I thought they were the same person
Which,
for the
there
longest
goes
time.
Kip Winger as a guest. We could get Tawny Katane, but we'll never get Kip Winger after that comment.
You really want Kip Winger on this show?
He's a classically trained musician, and right now he's doing symphonies. I'd love to hear the transformation from hair metal to symphony. But no, he's not on my list. He's never been emailed.
You know who else? He was on Stu's fucking chest, man.
Stewart from Beavis and Butthead. Yes. Motley Crue, Jessica just brings up, started looking like warriors from a Mel Gibson movie.
No, they were
to
bad.
Looking like chicks to looking all badass again.
Yeah, and then they had fucking the triangles on their cheeks and shit. No, we've been through it. We know exactly what you're talking about.
Well, White Snack. You got called out for your Freudian slip. White Snack.
I know. I always call him White Snack.
Oh, did you really?
No. The reason why is because when we used to sing karaoke, Mark.
Our Mark.
Yeah, our Mark literally has. He was the last person I knew to actually do a book.
The binder.
Yeah, and in the binder, if you looked under White Snake, it was actually written
White Snack.
White Snack.
Shit, Jessica just said it. It's the Mark's misspelled book. Striper, good call by Will. Another band, Christian metal band. They started out looking tough, started looking like chicks, then they toned it down again.
Yeah.
I got some 90s trivia for you guys and our audience at home if they want to participate.
All right, what are we giving away?
Nothing.
Okay.
What was on the T-shirts for Beavis and Butthead when they were not on the TV show?
Oh, in the movies?
Do I not get to answer?
Nope, like on the merchandise.
I know, because I have enough merchandise.
Yeah.
I'll write it down just so people know I'm not cheating.
We'll give the audience a chance.
We'll give them about, say, 1 minute. I'm writing it down right now.
So, early in the show, not to take away from the rock and roll, earlier in the show, before we went live and before we had Brittany on, we had a little segment called You Know Who's Gay?
Oh, before we even went hot.
Exactly.
Do we know who's gay?
Now, it didn't even make the show, but I think it's time that since we had a minute to blow.
Okay.
Minute to blow. That we would break it down.
Let's call it. Do you know how I know they're gay?
Oh, I like that. Okay.
All right.
You ready?
Go
so
ahead.
we'll start it with, you know who's gay?
You know who's gay?
Rock.
The Rock.
Now you question.
Tell him why.
Now
Why do you think The Rock's gay?
Why do I think The Rock is gay? Well, it's simple. The Rock has been divorced for over 10 years now, and we have not recently seen a single picture with The Rock with a woman. However, and I did, Ange, because I don't know if you're watching or not, but you did bring up before you left that he has not had pictures with guys. However,
Paul Stanley. I made that up.
No, that was like this.
I know.
They walked in like this. But that's a rumor. That's a rumor. But The Rock did do a very exclusive swimsuit edition with Zac Efron
from the Baywatch.
From the Baywatch.
Okay.
So if you want to reach for something,
all right,
I'm reaching on that. I'm just letting you know. At what is it? At The Rock.
I think it's at The Rock.
Okay, so Twitter at The Rock. You know why I know you're gay, Rock? Because you haven't taken a picture with a woman since your divorce.
There was a time where he was dating the daughter of the drummer who just recently passed in the last 2 years from Boston, but there was not a lot of hype and hullabaloo. You never saw pictures. It was all
because he made
rumored
her
innuendo, if you will.
He made her cut her hair. And, yeah, it was a long time.
All right. I've said it for years, and I'm going to say it again. You know who's gay?
Who's gay?
Paul Stanley's gay.
And why do you know he's gay?
Why do I know he's gay? Oh, there's just a litany of reasons after 40 years of this being my favorite band. But just recently, Paul Stanley has entered into an agreement to sell personally made jewelry to the fans. Yes, I will make this jewelry for you.
That's super.
Yes, it is.
Maybe him and The Rock can get together and make some jewelry together.
I used to point at this.
Hasn't he been married to the same woman?
Rock Hudson was married for 22 years.
I'm just asking.
How'd that end?
It's a yes or no
question.
What
was the finish on that one?
Doesn't he have kids?
Yes. Rock Hudson had kids.
So does The Rock.
Well, Rock has kids. What was the finish on that one?
Anthony Hopkins was gay, but he was married to the same woman, and he said, I've only ever loved your mother. To his kids, he said, the only woman I've ever loved was your mother.
The only woman I've ever loved was your mother.
Right.
He's loved lots of men after that. He's loved lots of men after that.
Who's to say that Paul Stanley isn't putting his love gun into every holster named Steve in the history of the world? You don't know.
Because Steve would have turned up by now.
Probably.
Do you know who's gay?
Unless he's getting paid off underneath the table. Look, I know
and Gene would have sold that information if it'd make him a buck.
No, Gene would hide that shit. Gene would be like...
Because Gene got curious one night.
No, Gene. If anybody's read the first two books, don't read any of the bullshit he's written after Kiss and Makeup and Sex, Money, Kiss. Those two books were insightful into the world of Gene Simmons and Kiss. Everything after that is a bluster to say, look at me, be like me, fuck you, Gene. When Kiss's manager back in the 70s, Bill Aucoin, came out to the band, it was Gene who was like, did you know that Bill was gay? I didn't know that Bill was gay. And Paul's like, I knew.
Of course he knew.
Ding!
He
Paul
knew.
Stanley, gay. Next.
You know who's gay?
Who's gay? Aaron Rodgers. I'm beating you to that punch. Aaron Rodgers.
No, he's not gay. He just holds his own hand when he dates a supermodel.
He does, as Tommy Summers said not too long ago, all this throwing the flag motion that he does kind of kills that. And look, we're not picking on anybody who is gay, lesbian, et cetera, so forth. We're picking on celebrities who we just have a grudge against. So let's have fun with it.
You know who's gay?
Who's gay?
Channing Tatum.
Channing Tatum?
Yeah.
I don't doubt it.
You're supposed to say why.
Why? Wait, I hadn't gotten that far yet.
There's no devil's advocate on that one. Move on.
Move on. Next.
Because he's playing Gambit.
Okay. Yeah, all right.
You know who's gay?
Who's gay?
Who's gay?
Jason Momoa.
I'll buy it. Why is he gay?
Because he's playing the crow.
You know who's gay? From a listener.
Who's gay?
Connecticut Governor Daniel Malloy. And you could probably guess who the listener was. Thank you very much.
Oh, yes, he is. He's very gay.
I think he's a little bitch, but I don't think he's gay.
I don't know
who's gay?
That. Who's gay?
Richard Gere.
That rumor's been out there for a million years. That's as close.
The 80s called. They want their gay rumor back. No, wait. They want their gerbil back.
You know who's
You don't
gay?
want that gerbil back.
Okay.
I'm going to get that gerbil on the show. I'll tell you what, that
Wow.
gerbil's going to tell you guys what the fuck is up.
Wow.
Let me winks.
See, he's smart. No, he's
Stay away
smart.
from mimosa. That's what they're saying.
At least he put a gerbil up his ass because gerbils can't talk. Other motherfuckers be putting real people up their asses that can't shut their fucking mouths.
I got nobody else on my gaydar.
Eric
so.
Mitchell says no trigger here.
Good.
Janelle says stay away from mimosa.
You know, wait. I only because
Mimosas.
only because I saw somebody's name pop up on the live
Whatever.
feed.
Fucking Aquaman. Stay
So-
away from
so I-
Aquaman.
Stay away from the mimosas.
I gotta fuck with him, and this is just this is not a personal knock. I love you to
Super.
death, kid. I'm always gonna say this. You know who's gay?
Who's gay?
Roddy Piper was gay.
Why is he gay?
Wore a skirt for fucking 40 years.
Oh my God, he did. That's true.
I'm triggered.
I never fucking
You
put
should-
two and two
you know what?
together.
Why don't we?
Holy shit, dude. Good
There you
call.
go.
Dude, there are certain things. There are two things you don't fuck with.
Yeah, go ahead. You don't fuck
You don't
with.
fuck with something, and you don't fuck with Roddy Piper.
You don't fuck with the Relish King, and you don't fuck
No,
with
we
Roddy
have.
Piper.
We fucked with the Relish King.
He
like-
never answers.
Exactly. We've fucked with the Relish King 10 times on the show.
We got
so-
one right here. Chris Helmsworth is gay. Thoughts?
We fucked with the Relish King so much we had to yell no homo.
Right?
You know who's gay? Chris Helmsworth, like the Thor?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Thor is so gay. Yeah, Thor is super gay.
And his brother.
One day you
Liam,
will actually
focus
say
sucker.
my name, Janelle Roberts White, and it won't be Springer. I just say listeners most of the time, but if you need me to say it, and I will because I respect you, I love you, and I'm not blocked. Janelle, I'm saying your name. I love you. Big ups to you, and you're not gay. So, anybody got anybody other? Oh, wait.
You know who else is gay?
Who's gay?
My man from The Shield.
Dean Ambrose?
Nope.
Seth Rollins?
Nope.
Roman Reigns?
Yes!
Roman Reigns is gay!
Eric Mitchell has a theory. You know who's
Oh,
gay?
no, I'm not listening to this. La, 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 la,
You know who's gay?
Lead singer of,
Nope.
no? The owner of...
Ask! You know who's gay?
Who's gay?
I'm gonna
Batman and Robin.
Fuck
Why
you.
are they gay?
Adam West.
He didn't say. Adam West is the reason they're gay.
Oh,
I might buy it. Let's not speak ill of the dead.
Hey.
Whoa.
You know who's gay?
Calling someone gay isn't ill, man. It's the
No, it's
21st
not.
century.
You know who's gay?
Who's gay?
Wentz from the Eagles.
Probably.
Probably. And Don Henley.
He likes tight ends. No, statistically speaking, he throws to a lot of tight ends.
All right. So Carson Wentz is gay. I get it. It's all good.
You know who's definitely not gay?
Here
Fucking Prince.
Well, no.
Well, no shit. He's dead. You know who's gay?
Seth Rogen and Paul Rudd. Because
I
they
think so.
went back and forth. You know how I know you're gay? You know how I know you're gay?
No, Seth Rogen's definitely got something going on with James Franco, though.
I don't doubt it.
I agree with
you
that.
see a lot of those.
And they're like...
And you know who else is gay?
They look at each other.
Who else is gay for each other?
Who?
I want to say Ryan Reynolds and frickin' what's his face that does Wolverine?
Hugh Jackman?
Yeah, they're gay for
Ooh.
each other. They're gay for each
That
other.
could be.
Super bromance.
Good for you, bud.
Super fucking
And
I
bromance.
heard that's the only way he'll play Wolverine.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
I'm gonna shock the people right now. You know who I think is gay?
Who's gay?
Joe Girardi, the manager of the New York Yankees.
Oh, he wants it.
He does.
He wants it.
He does. Did you see him grab Starlin Castro's ass the other night after that great play? Did you see him? Not one of these like you see in sports where you
just
tap
fucking
the ass and
honk
move
that
along.
shit.
He grabbed, like full on goosed, Starlin Castro in the ass. Joe Girardi's gay, and I'm a Yankee fan, folks.
You know-
I can say that.
This
Pen
is,
drop.
No,
Someone should do that to Kaepernick next time he kneels.
Grab his ass. I bet you he'd stand in a
Full,
heartbeat.
just full on.
All right.
Be like, oh.
All right.
Say me too, bitch. Say me too.
One more.
You know who's super gay?
Who's super gay?
Jason Lyon's soon-to-be son.
Oh, there's a son coming. Dun 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 dun. We're gonna get a quick call in, and we are gonna pimp a friend of ours that we met at the Hell in the Cell party. We're gonna get his stuff out there. We're gonna give him 5 minutes, you think?
Yeah, it works.
And then we'll roll the beautiful bean footage. Nobody's answered the Beavis and Butthead question. I'm a little shocked, but
Jessica tried, but she named the T-shirts on the show. She
Yes, she
obviously
did.
didn't read the question.
Well, I'll give him the freebie. Skull.
Skull was one of them. I had both of them. I wrote it down. Skull was one of them. That's on the merchandise, kids. This is not on the actual.
And it has a lot to do with Skull.
Yes.
One of the words.
Kim Jong-un is wicked gay. I'll give you that one, Will. Good
Why?
Because he's fucking
Why
Kim
is he gay?
Jong-un. He's fingering him. Oh, here it comes now. You ready? Hello, my friend.
Loki and Jabroni, what's going on, brother?
How
What's
are
up?
you? Introduce yourself to the fine folks.
Hey, this is the one and only T Black from the Top Rope Report, and also representing M&J Video Games and Collectibles, 1049 Queen Street in Southington.
Fuck yeah. The
Good.
biggest store this side of Connecticut, period.
Correct. Yeah, everything
All right.
you need. And they had Jimmy Hart in the store recently.
Big fucking store. If you guys haven't
And-
had a chance to actually go down there and check it out, it is fucking huge.
And I think you and your son, was it your son, did really well in the trivia.
My oldest Blake, which was cut off from the microphone.
Oh, well. Oh, yeah, because he kept wanting to say crazy stuff. But you guys did really well in the trivia contest.
Yes, but he was right, though, about the Red Sox. They do stink.
Yes, they do.
But anyway, okay, first of all, before I go anything else, first of all, November 3rd, from 5 to 7:30, one half of the Powers of Pain, the big man, the warlord, will be there at
Nice.
M&J Video Games and Collectibles for an autograph signing.
Nice.
Looking forward to that.
So, hey, first of all, I'm glad to see freaking Aaron Judge is finally getting his head out of his ass.
You know, it would be nice if, and here it is. I know Aaron Judge is young, and I know Aaron Judge is trying to build on his 50-plus home run season as a rook, but you don't have to swing at everything. Pick your pitches. There's a reason you hit 50 home runs in the season.
Well, you're also
Pick your
you're
pitches.
also in the playoffs. He's also a rookie. He's also in a very big moment. Like there's a lot of things that go. A lot of people.
I understand.
Look, I am a Red Sox fan, and I've been through this. I get what everybody's going through. A lot of people forget when Dustin Pedroia first came onto the scene, and we went to the playoffs. He was not a big name. He wasn't a big name until almost 2 years in the playoffs because, much like he does now, he swung out of his shoes at every fucking pitch.
Right.
And I was saying, much like you are saying now, you don't have to swing at every pitch, dude. It's because it's a big game scenario, and people all season long rise for the judge.
Rise for the judge,
he
baby.
Has been living up to it, and now not only does he want to give it back to the fans, he wants to give it back so bad that he's reaching for it.
You know, I don't have so much of a problem with Aaron Judge's lack of hitting as I have with Gary fucking Sanchez. There are 3 rules. Catch the ball, make the pivot, make the tag. You had one job, Gary.
Well, a lot of people forget about Bill Buckner. He was the original, make the catch, then make the throw. So,
right.
I mean...
Catch the ball, make the pivot, tag the base. I get it. What else do you got to pimp for us today, my friend?
So the reason why I was calling, I'm calling about TLC.
Okay. We got a couple of minutes to spare.
You know, I don't think my opinion about the Shield versus the Miz and the Miz, with now it being a 5-on-3, because I mean, granted, I know they can do it, but Dean Ambrose had opened his big mouth. I don't think with now Kane added to that match, the chances for the Shield are slim to none.
I buy that to an extent, but when you're building a guy like Roman to be the next Superman, the next Cena, the next Austin, the next Hulk, you have to put insurmountable odds in front of them. Add to that mix, you have Seth Rollins, who has knocked over everybody in his path with the exception of Finn Balor. And you add Dean Ambrose, who doesn't give half a shit about anything according to the way they program him. I think this is the perfect avenue to have that match.
Okay, and then my other thing is this whole Demon versus Sister Abigail storyline. Oh, my God. What will freaking Vince and the writers think of next with freaking Bray Wyatt?
You know what? I think it's genius. And I'm not just trying to be contrary here, but I think it's genius that if we've heard the name Sister Abigail for as long as the Wyatt family has been out there, the name of the move is the Sister Abigail. Randy Orton burns down the hut that Sister Abigail supposedly is buried in. I think this is genius because when I'll be honest, I don't watch Raw on Monday nights and I don't watch SmackDown on Tuesday nights. I watch it later on stream on my Fire Stick. To watch that promo and to have that, and then they switch and he's got the hood on and the wild uplighting in the face and all that. That's genius. It's no different than Finn Balor coming out as the pasty white English guy versus the guy with the body paint. This is kind of counteraction to the other angle. So when they finally go at it at TLC, you'll see Finn Balor in all his painted gimmickry, and that's fantastic. But which Bray Wyatt are you going to see? Are you going to see Bray Wyatt, the dirty redneck, or are you going to see Bray Wyatt in the Sister Abigail gimmick? That to me,
yeah, very true, very true.
That to me is the cornerstone to that match.
Well, I'm back at the palatial. Say, hey, just to let you know, I'm going down to Florida in around April vacation where my kids have off from school, and that Tuesday night I'll probably be going up to Jimmy Hart's place in Daytona. As long as I can get a promo from her, I will send you guys a promo from one of the TNA knockouts, ODB.
Oh, wow. ODB's fantastic.
Yes, I guess she's a bartender at Jimmy Hart's place. So
very cool.
If I can get you one, I'll post it up on the Loki and Jabroni page.
That'd be fantastic. Thank you, sir. Now,
all right, guys, I got to go watch my Yankees pull one out.
How are they doing right now?
I think Judge just hit one deep, but it hit the wall.
All right.
I was listening to freaking the radio. So.
All right, fair enough. I'm not watching the game because the fans need me. So here we are.
Talk to you guys later.
All right, later, bro. So make sure you go to M&J Sports World in Southington. Catch the Warlord, who I understand is a really nice guy. When we had Joe Laurinaitis on the phone, he said that his real name is Terry, but that Terry's a real nice guy. So go catch the Warlord. We'll give you that information a little further as we get information.
He's a benevolent warlord.
He is a benevolent warlord. And as we listen to Loki descend the stairs, I am going to ask you, my friend, to roll that beautiful bean footage. You know, you mentioned this while the mics were not on. Why have we not gotten a copyright claim from Europe, but we get it on animal crackers and anything else we try to put up?
Well, the animal crackers has finally stopped because I finally
but
sent them a nasty
next week, as you guys all look forward to every month, is You Know It's Fucked Up. Hopefully next week you have a Ted Nugent Award. Hopefully next week we'll be playing some Ted Nugent guitar noodling to introduce said Ted Nugent Award, and they've yet to say anything about Ted
I've been watching
Nugent.
the news, man. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for somebody to say something really, truly dumb. But unfortunately, we have a president that tweets bullshit, and it always shadows the news.
When the mics go off, I might have something for you to watch for, and maybe, just maybe, that could be your Ted Nugent Award.
Submit it to the committee.
Absolutely.
Can I just say something before you started?
Go ahead.
Now, I was upstairs.
You were.
Taking care of the little one.
Yep.
Throwing a bed. I got 2 sleeping freaking beasts right now.
Yep.
And I heard you mention Roman Reigns.
Yes. Here we go.
There's a reason why.
You may have to hit the trigger warning on this one.
There's a reason why they brought the Shield back. Because Roman Reigns is a big, stinky pile of no talent. Zero talent.
Roman Reigns is the Ultimate Warrior of 2017.
You're absolutely fucking right. He can't cut a promo. He can't wrestle to save his fucking life. He's got 3 fucking moves, and every single one of them, besides the Superman punch, has been stolen. All right? He is a has-been, and he is a never was. He needs the Shield. That's the only reason why he's going to... Did you see that he was the last one to put his fist in?
Yep.
Do you know why?
Because it builds the tempo. That
exactly.
They're building him to be the next Superman, and he can't be.
They were waiting for him to do this. This is the only thing.
Do me a favor. Close your eyes real quick. Mm-hmm. I want you to name the last...
I like Superman.
That's fine. Name the last 4 real Supermen in the WWE. And you can go back as far as, say, 1980. The last 4 real Supermen in the WWE.
Like you mean Boy Scout Superman?
Doesn't not necessarily have to be Boy Scout, but everybody.
Because when you say Superman, I'm saying because
even
like,
Superman had his faults.
No, absolutely, but for the most part, he's the ultimate good guy. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, go with it.
Like Hulk Hogan, for example.
Hulk Hogan is
real
one.
American.
Yep.
All right. I'm going to go even like we just mentioned him, Ultimate Warrior too, just being that freaking...
Okay. He was weird, but he never strayed.
Right, exactly. He was always that good guy. And Bob Backlund, same thing. Always that good guy. Even when they tried to make him a bad guy.
He was still a good guy.
He was still a fucking good guy. And the only time he was a bad guy, he was still a good guy.
Right.
So
you got one more.
Bruno Sammartino in his heyday.
That's too early, though.
Yeah, way too early.
My fourth would have been John Cena.
I go with John Cena, too.
Yeah.
But the only problem is, don't forget, John Cena was a heel
when he started.
So I like where you're going with that because ever since he became a good guy, the only reason why he's become a quote-unquote bad guy is because of the fans.
I call for John Cena to be disqualified.
Why?
Because he started as like a gimmick wrestler.
No, that was his
He started
gimmick.
playing, and
that
then he got moved
dude.
into the gimmick.
He wanted that.
Yeah,
that was his character.
What I'm saying, though, is like when you look at Hulk Hogan and stuff, it just
I get where you're going.
The culture
you want to talk about gimmicks?
It very much is.
Dustin Rhodes goes over.
I'm going to let him talk. This is good. I like this.
How
did Dustin Rhodes get over?
No, not only get over. I'm just saying when Dustin Rhodes went to the WCW.
When you're done, read Jessica's comment. I want to hear what you have to say.
Dustin Rhodes goes to WCW. What do? They put him in a fucking trench coat and they paint his face white and they call him Seven. All right? That's a fucking gimmick, dude. That's a gimmick, okay? He had no choice of that gimmick whatsoever. He literally came out on stage and was like, this is what WCW wants me to be. By the way, my name's Seven, and I hate this fucking gimmick as much as I hate the fucking Gold Dust gimmick. He took his fucking hat off and he was done. John Cena came up with that gimmick. John Cena wanted that gimmick. He was pissed off when they took away and they wanted to do the whole, never give up, never surrender shit.
Right.
He likes being the thugonomics.
But that's what I'm saying, though. When he started out with that whole, and I don't have a problem with it on its face, but I wouldn't consider him a golden boy Superman type because of it.
Right.
Whereas, like someone like a Hulk Hogan just comes in and it's like, oh, I'm about the fans that love me, and he gets a crowd charge. So that's a wrestler that kind of does it on their own.
All right, Superman real quick. Jessica, Sean says, Undertaker, Mick Foley, Kane, Heartbreak Kid. Breaking down every single one of them right now. Undertaker has and always will be a neutral entity in any situation. He's not a heel. He's not a face. He never can and never will be.
He just is.
Mick Foley, Mankind, I'm sorry. When he came into the screen, he wanted to bring out Cactus Jack. They said, fuck you. They came up with this gimmick. It wasn't Mankind. It was something else.
Something the Mutilator.
Yes, Mutilator match or some fucking shit. And they wanted him to do half his hair. Mick said, you're fucking absolutely crazy. Came back with Mankind. And, of course, he did the whole Dude Love. You want to go with Dude Love? I'll buy that one.
I'm seeing where she's going with the superheroes, but
Right. No, but there's not a single Superman in there. Kane, as soon as he came onto the scene, he was the big bread machine.
He was
the
dirty
destroyer.
back in the day.
Yeah, he was the destroyer. Do not forget, he was the originator of one of the most brutal matches, in my opinion, the Inferno match.
Right.
Which people literally got like fucking third-degree burns on that thing. And last but not least, Heartbreak Kid started his career with the Montreal Screwjob. So no, you're
he was
not
bad. He was good.
You're not a superhero.
More than a pancake.
You're not a superhero if you need to have the fucking man of the hour hand you a belt. I love Shawn Michaels. Do not get funky with this at all. I think he's a great wrestler. I think he's an incredible charismatic.
I'm gonna take that a little step further. You start with the Rockers, good guys. You turn on Jannetty, bad guy. Psycho Sid pummels you into the ground, good guy. You join DX, bad guy. You come back from your 4-year hiatus after back surgery.
A chosen child of God.
Chosen guy. Look, no offense to his life choices, but good guy. Then you switch again.
Holy man.
Holy man. Then you switch again. Bad guy. This guy has turned more times than the pillows in a hotel room. And I don't necessarily see... Don't come at me with Hurricane Helms, dude.
No, I do.
Seriously.
Jess, I did say Sean said.
Right.
Sean said.
So,
and Hurricane Helms, the only reason why Hurricane Helms lasted the long time that he did, the longest time that he did, was honestly for one specific reason. And this is a well-known fact that Mr. McMahon loves superheroes.
Oh, yeah.
Loves them. He absolutely loves them.
We're going to set a precedent here on the Loki and Jabroni Show. Because we have now gone, 7-8 minutes? And for the first time ever, I'm going to ask for a second time. We're going to get that copyright claim today. Roll that beautiful bean footage, please, Mr. Producer. Right? Oh, God.
Like the shampoo that these guys use.
Go for it. Get that beer out your mouth.
No,
Go for it.
Never get the beer out of my mouth. Listen, guys, I know lately I'm looking around the table and you're looking at 3 broke motherfuckers. All right? And when we say broke, by the way, the answer to Ed's trivia question earlier, since no one came up with it, was Skull and Death Rock.
Yeah.
Just to get that out of the way.
Do you know why?
Because AC/DC and Metallica would have been a copyright claim.
Was it Metallica on the shirt?
Yep.
I thought it was another band.
Nope.
No, it was AC/DC Metallica.
Very early on, there was another band, but the one that the biggest was Metallica and AC/DC. Give me a couple days. I'll go through my DVD collection. I'll find out who the other band was. It was always AC/DC.
I think it was Slayer.
Might have been Slayer.
Yeah, it was
Slayer.
I think it was
I
Slayer.
think it was
Slayer in the very early Frog baseball.
Frog
days.
baseball. I think it was Slayer.
Here we go again. Roll that. No, I'm kidding. We're all bent out of shape because we're poor lately, man. So, and having the conversations we have in the days leading up to this, I thought Is there a shittier place to live? Yes, there is. If you're a fan of us in the United States, this is my top 10 shittiest places to live in America. Honorable mention goes to Connecticut. All of it. Fuck Dan Malloy. Just fuck him. The man is ruining this once proud state, a state that I was proud to call home, even though I'm not from here. I've lived most of my life here. Connecticut is my home. Fuck Dan Malloy. I'd love to get him here on the show, but ain't going to happen. Fuck Dan Malloy.
First of all, even if he got on the show, he wouldn't leave the house.
Probably not. He'd probably appropriate it.
I would beat the bejesus out of that motherfucker.
All right, so here we go. Number 10, Gary, Indiana. You want to know how bad it is? A 29.8% poverty rate. There's a lack of local business, and 20.3% of the population drops off every 10 years. Think about that. 20% of your population just gets up and goes. They can't take it anymore.
We're pretty close to fucking that being in Connecticut, man. Just last year alone, what they say, like, I think it was
7%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So within the last 3 years, we're up to 16.
And still no budget here.
We're up to 16%. Yeah, because they don't want to fucking break out a budget.
Number 9
is our cut any spending.
Right. Number 9 is our friends in Cincinnati, Ohio. The poverty rate is 27.4%, and they have twice the United States average for violent crime.
Because their poverty rate is 27%.
Well, there's bigger ones on the list, but you'll hear why. Number 8.
Yeah, Detroit.
Springfield, Massachusetts. 27.3% poverty rate, and they're the second worst job market in the United States.
Right down the road.
Right. Not too far from Hartford, who almost made the list, but I said fuck all of Connecticut. Number 7. If you live in Jackson, Mississippi, get the fuck out. 31.7% poverty rate and 1% annual unemployment growth per year. Think about that. Every year, another percent of the population goes without work. Kind of fucked up. You know what's fucked up?
What's fucked up?
This fucking list. Number 6, Stockton, California, a 21.8% poverty rate and 3 times more crime than the United States average. Not too far from our friends in Compton, yo. Right. Think of real quick. I'm gonna fold this list. Think of one state you would think that would not be represented on this list. Just one. There's 50 of them.
I'm trying to look as white as possible.
You are as white as possible.
Iowa.
Iowa? Okay. What about you, Mike? Anything? Think of a state in the 50, lower 48 if you will, that should not be on this list.
Indiana.
They were already on the list at number 10. Way to pay attention.
Ooh, burn.
Yeah, really.
I thought we were going with eyes.
No.
The eyes have it.
Florida.
Well, they didn't make the list, but you know who did? Number 5, Wilmington, Delaware. A 26% poverty rate.
Edmonton.
10% higher cost of goods than anywhere in the United States, the U.S. average, and a 6.9% unemployment increase every 10 years.
What does Delaware? New Jersey.
Right? They're like
Idaho.
Jersey Junior.
Alaska.
Can
that was Delaware?
Themselves. Yeah, Wilmington, Delaware.
That's gay.
And they're this big.
10%.
10% annual growth in
so you like literally
higher cost of goods.
No, exactly. So you literally you're like fuck Delaware. I'm going to go across over here to Jersey to the Wawa.
I can go an hour this way to Jersey, or I can go an hour this way to Maryland, or I can go an hour this way to Virginia and get all my shit and bring it back and give the other local municipalities my business rather than doing it right here in my state. But you know why you can't do it in your state? Because you're fucking jacking up the prices. The only time the prices are good in Delaware, 2 race weekends. It's where I get the cheapest beer on the NASCAR circuit. Seriously.
That doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense, but when you consider 140,000 drunken rednecks...
It actually makes sense.
It does make sense.
Finish what you're saying, and I'll give you my theory.
140,000 drunken rednecks come to your town twice a year.
Exactly.
And they spend buku bucks on restaurants, hotels, Walmart, etc. Boom, tourism.
Your only industry is tourism. You need to lure them in.
When you can
cheapest.
get a 30 rack in Delaware, and I am living proof of this, for $13 of the stuff you can get here for $23, you're in the house. You are in the house.
That is the one thing that's not 10% higher than anything else then.
Oh, no, trust me. I've been to Delaware during race weekend, but I don't know. I've never been there not on race weekend, so anybody from Delaware want to chime in, please feel free.
That's what they do, though. They lure you in with the cheap beer so that you'll pay for the expensive services.
Mm-hmm. Amen to that.
Well,
Number 4, Albany, Georgia. Strangely enough, a 32% poverty rate, 4% annual decline in population, and an 8% unemployment rate hike every year in the last 10 years. Think about that. It's kind of fucked up.
It is.
I could have saved this for next week, but I wanted to do it today because we had so much fun and we talked about silly shit and great shit.
My top 10s are always funny.
Yeah, they are. Sometimes I have to interject some seriousness.
The top 10's kind of depressing.
I know. I want to leave you guys. I want to make you guys want to put a gun in your mouth, Kurt Cobain style. This is what I'm saying.
Really is.
No, it is an up. It is an upswing.
Loki, grab his phone. Maybe we can get Britt back on.
Be glad you don't live in these cities. And speaking of these cities, number 3 is Flint, Michigan. We don't have to talk about the water crisis.
I've been to Flint.
40.8% poverty rate, 12.2% population loss over the last 10 years. And I can understand why they're leaving.
But the EPA...
I think they're all dying.
Don't go all America on me, all right? Just don't.
But the EPA...
No.
They're there to keep us safe.
Motherfucker, please. Motherfucker, please.
Taxation is theft.
It is. You know what? Here, let me hit this button for you. I haven't done one of these all night, but go ahead. Hit it.
Taxation is theft.
Amen to that.
And Flint, Michigan is proof.
Right. Number 2 is Birmingham, Alabama. You always hear great things about Birmingham. It's a beautiful area. No, it isn't. 29.2% poverty rate, 3.3% population loss over the last 10 years, and they're on the list growing every year for crime rate.
But Black Betty's from there.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Black Betty is from there. Ram-a-lam-a-lam.
You come on up here and have some meatloaf, y'all.
And someone almost blew it for me, but the number 1 place not to live in the United States is Detroit, Michigan.
I did blow it.
Not only do they have one of the shittier football teams of all time, they have a 39.8% poverty rate, and they have the second highest crime rate in the United States, and it has been there for the last 10 years.
Dude, I told you, I went out to Michigan, and we had tickets to the Red Sox game, Tigers, Red Sox.
Yep.
We went there in the
Comerica Park is beautiful.
In the daytime.
Yep.
And it was, dude. It was like, have you ever you remember playing Zelda?
Oh, yeah.
And then the daytime, it was all nice and pretty and everything. And then you come into the one area and you hit that dark woods area. That's what it felt like coming out of that stadium at 7 o'clock at night, dude. I feared for my fucking life. It went from daisies and beauty streets to the most
hell on earth,
horrid scenes you've ever seen in your fucking life. And all you did was walk into a stadium for 3 hours.
Do you know what Detroit's nickname used to be? It's really sad. Like next time you go through Detroit,
Murder Town
used to be. No. Next time, obviously nobody goes to Detroit.
Silver Streets of
Dreams? If you ever seen the documentary on Detroit, or if you happen to be there, if you're looking around Detroit and you see how decrepit it is, its nickname used to be back in the day the New Paris.
Ooh,
wow!
When it was at its peak, when the automotive industry was like huge, there, Detroit was considered the new. It was better than New York City at one point.
I can see that. No, I can absolutely see that, especially in
those buildings that are falling apart. Most of them old auto factories, and nobody wants to buy.
No, exactly,
because they're so bad at this point. It would cost like more money than it's worth.
That's what we were talking about with Norwich today. You know, you look at Norwich and you're like, man, this was
there's potential.
Exactly. At one point, this could be a fucking beautiful city, but
it was.
They just
look at old pictures.
Exactly. They let it fall, and then every investor that they got in there, they scared away. They literally just started taking their money, and they were like, "Whoa, hey, dude, this is my money. This isn't your money."
How did they scare them?
Taxation. And what is taxation? All right.
I mean, you talk about, just real quick before we end it up, there was a Dunkin' Donuts for the longest time.
Up on that corner?
Right. In the heart of fucking Norwich.
Yep.
Now, Dunkin' Donuts, tell me, I don't give a fuck where you put it.
They build one on every fucking corner in America now.
And I don't care where you put it. It's always going to be busy.
Always successful.
It's always going to make money. They were making money. You know why they left? Because the fucking rent was too fucking high.
Yeah.
They literally this is Dunkin' Donuts. This is a business who can say,
You know
they
what?
took over America.
Right.
They used to be Northeast.
But
it
you
was
could turn
just
around.
Us. We could look at people and go, Dunkin' Donuts, and they go, what the fuck are you talking about? Now there's a Dunkin' on
that used to
every
be
corner.
Best Eaten. That used to be Best Eaten on the East Coast. Remember Best Eaten?
Yeah.
Was our
It was our
Dunkin'
thing.
Donuts back in the day.
Best Eaten was Canadian. And
But that was our
Tim
Dunkin'
Hortons, but they
Donuts
came
back in
down
the
and-
day.
Yeah.
That was our Dunkin' Donuts back in the day. And now Dunkin' Donuts has taken over so bad. There is no more Best Eaten. You got to go to fucking Rhode Island to even find a Best Eaten, dude. And that one is privately owned.
Good luck finding a Tim Hortons underneath
Ain't gonna find a Timmy
northern
Horton.
Massachusetts.
You ain't going to find a Timmy Horton
not around
anywhere
here.
because Dunkin' Donuts scared him away. Now that tells you something.
Norwich
They
a
can
Norwich
lose.
resident says Norwich needs a dueling piano jazz bar or restaurant like the one we went to in
Dude.
North Carolina. It was great.
The fucking Harp and Dragon.
Ange, thank you.
Done.
Harp and Dragon is
done
no, because crime is taken
No,
over.
it's done. They're done. They sold the fucking business, dude. I just left court today, and I looked at. They're done.
Are they
They're
really?
sold. They're done.
They just
There
had a
is
big
no more
thing in the
fucking Harp
paper
and
the other
Dragon,
day
dude.
about we're giving up on the NFL
Campanos
games.
sold the Harp and Dragon.
Or they're in the process of selling it.
Yeah,
it says right on the fucking thing.
Because the Scotty, his family owns the shop rights.
Yeah.
Around over here. And he was running the
they're
Harp and
losing
Guys,
ridiculous amounts
keep
of money.
your money
Well, that
local.
football thing they were doing probably didn't help.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
we're not going to play the games anymore. Okay.
Yeah, you kind of just shot yourself in the foot right there.
Yeah, they will.
Guys,
Tokyo
that
Sushi's going to
fucking
play
quick.
the game all day long.
wherever
Exactly.
you live, if you live in Norwich, Connecticut, Lafayette, Indiana, Ocala, Florida, wherever you live, try to support local business as much as you can. And I know Stop and Shop is a big Northeast thing, so I consider that keeping it local. When it comes to like retail or other things, if you're looking for services, keep your money local because guess what? That's where your economy grows. Not going to Walmart, not going to Target, not going to Kohl's. These are national chains.
You need
your money local.
You need new business. You need new business aspects, and you need people who are willing to do this. I just recently went to talk to Pier 74 about gigs there.
Yeah,
Dude, the owner was like literally half of our age.
yeah.
Was half our age. Did you know Billy Wilson's was just sold and bought by
For the third time?
for the third time? Guess what? Another couple, half our age. Now, let me ask you something. How can they possibly see or foresee something to turn this bar around when they haven't even experienced half our age, bro, puts them at 24, 25.
Yeah.
You've only been on the bar scene for 3 years. How can you possibly take a name like Billy Wilson's, or how can
in
you
this area
possibly
for
take
100 years, by the way.
right, exactly, or how could you take a bar that's
How can you
now
take-
called Pier 74, but back in the day was one of the most hoppingest place in fucking New London ever? How are you going to take something like that and take it to the next level?
I'll give you a name that Eric Mitchell just brought up. Benny's.
That's another one, man.
Local
These fucking-
institution, man.
They didn't want to continue. I heard a lot on that one though.
There's a lot
I
more.
heard the father or the grandfather, whoever opened it, was done with it.
He was already passed.
He was done. Yeah, he was done. He didn't even want
The
to.
younger
carry
members of the
name
family
on.
don't want to carry it.
No, they did. They did.
The younger?
Yes. He didn't want the name Benny's to be carried over. He wanted to be done with it completely. That's what I'm saying. I've been looking into it, man. There's some ugliness.
I want to hear
There's
it.
some ugliness.
Bring
And
it to
the
fucked
kids-
up next
And
week.
I was actually surprised because the kids did want to continue the business. The father did not. And he said, if you're going to continue the business, it's going to be without
Change
the
the
Benny's
name?
name.
That's
It's gonna
what-
be
Why
without the Benny's
kill an
name.
established
Right?
franchise, though? It's
I
like-
don't know, and that's what I'm still trying to find out.
Why
But
would
if
I
the
change the
kids-
NFL
If I
to
could
the
get one of those
XFL?
fucking kids on the show, dude, that would be fucking fantastic.
I could try to work on that. Listen, before we go, somber note, but not too much. We've all dedicated this show before to people. And this morning, I lost my favorite aunt. Gina Applegarth passed away today. And she was a fantastic supporter of everything I've ever done. And I got the call sitting in my office this morning, and I wasn't sure how to process it. I've gone through the day not knowing how to process it. I'm probably going to do that when I get home, and I'm going to blubber like a fucking retard. But, I was her favorite nephew, and there were things that she always told me that I've always kept in my heart. So as you pass on to the next world and you go to sit with whatever higher being you ever believed in, thank you for everything. My heart's been breaking all day, and this is why I come here, and this is why I do this with you guys, because we've all had our tragedies, and we've all come here, this table, this enclosure. This is why we do what we do, and I just want to say thank you, Aunt Jean. I love you, and I'm never going to forget you, and it kind of sucks that you're gone, but I just wanted to say that everything that we did here today was for you, and I very much appreciate you. So thank you. And you guys
now get Johnny Cash's autograph for me.
Absolutely.
Dun, dun, dun. Well, we want to thank each and every one of you guys for tuning in. As always, we want to thank Brittany for being a freaking spectacular guest and really getting us on the inside of what we usually don't ever get to hear, and that's the female aspect of the bands. We want to thank each and every one of you guys for tuning in. If you guys have not yet seen our website, please go to the website. Please share the website. And anytime you go shopping for anything, especially Amazon, because they are everywhere at this point, and we know when you guys are shopping. We know, all right? So don't be like, yeah, I bought something the other day, because you didn't. You know you didn't. And if you did, you didn't go through our affiliate link like you should. I pity the fool. I pity the fool that don't go on your affiliate link, all right? Because it don't cost you an extra dime, and it gives us some extra money in our pockets. I pity you. I pity you if you don't use our affiliate link.
Are we going to get a copyright thing for that?
I hope so.
I hope so, too.
That would be awesome. But no, seriously, guys, like those affiliate, go there, like us on Facebook, use those affiliate links, and if you get a chance and you have, like we said, you live in Connecticut, the jingle jangle isn't as spectacular as it used to be at one point. We understand, but if you can, donations to our Patreon site, please. www.lokiandjabroni.com or Loki and Jabroni /Patreon. Yes.
Loki and Jabroni
/
www.patreon.com / Just go to the website. It's all there.
I was gonna say it's all set up for you. It's all set up for you.
Eric Mitchell's buying a belt soon. He needs it. This is the part that's going to bring me back up. Thank you for mentioning that. I'm about ready to fucking lose my shit, but you had to bring up the affiliates.
He doesn't have the winged eagle yet, man.
The winged okay, here's a problem I have with that before we close out. Every eagle is winged.
It's small, though.
Every eagle is winged.
No. He's talking because I think
the winged eagle belt. I know the one with the big and the Hulk Hogan and yeah. I told Eric I'm not gonna pimp him out unless he buys the big gold belt. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I don't care if it has a WWE logo on the top or if it's the classic Jim Crockett Promotions 86 gimmick. If you don't have the big Ric Flair belt, you ain't shit. Eric's buying the big gold belt.
That was pretty damn big.
And Ange says she bought flea medicine and a metronome. You're welcome. Not sure what that brings in, but we do appreciate it. Every single one of you guys. If you buy a comic book for $4 and we get 40 cents out of it, thank you so much.
Yeah, we don't get 40
cents. We don't
cents.
give a shit. Thank you.
A cent.
Thank you for using our link.
A cent. But anyways, do not forget Star Wars is right around the corner. December 12th. Make sure you are online and getting them fucking tickets.
What do they get when they buy those tickets?
Right. Free special poster when you buy tickets with Fandango link.
Exactly. Right now, if you go to the Loki and Jabroni website and you click that Fandango link and you go and buy those tickets now, you get yourself a free Star Wars kick-ass poster. And if you haven't been paying attention to the Loki and Jabroni site, you would have seen that Ed has recently brought up some very good points about my hypothesis on Luke Skywalker.
I just want him to be in the movie.
He's already there, dude.
I know.
But now
I
he's
don't
going
get
to
it.
He is going to... The circle is complete.
I think it's been confirmed. What he said last week is confirmed.
Dark side?
I'm telling you,
in
dude.
In every poster, the villain is in the background.
Exactly.
And Luke Skywalker's in the background.
And looking pretty evil.
Looking like the Emperor.
I was going to say, looking pretty evil,
I want to throw this out because I know sometimes some of the local joints watch. Survivor Series is yet a month away.
Yes.
And we don't have a spot to host Survivor Series yet. So local businesses, if you want us to host your Survivor Series party, please do. Here's what I'm thinking.
And before he says that, this is a quote from a local business that we were just at. Quote, You guys were bigger than
the guest. The guest.
Quote. We're not filling in the blank.
You want us? We're there. Here's the gig. Eric Mitchell brought this up earlier today, privately with me. Have like a Survivor Series, like not like a pool. You don't have to pay money to get into it, but have like a special thing for the person who picks the most winning matches. But we're sitting on an autographed head here. Let me bring this sumbitch down real quick so you get an idea. Here, put this hat on. It's beautiful.
Not my head.
This is
not my head.
An autographed head. Al Snow signed it right there.
Not my head.
Loki signed it right there. Jabroni signed it right there. Head signed it right there. But guess what? Back here, Cowboy Bob Orton, Hall of Fame, 2005. You want this? You want to have a Survivor Series party? You really need to have us host your Survivor Series party. We'll give this away at the Survivor Series party.
My head?
Well, we've been talking about giving head away for a long time. And you know what? Special added attraction. The hat goes with it. I bought that hat. I can do what I want.
My head?
Your head? Don't worry. I'm sure I can get you some head elsewhere.
So hard to find good head.
It really is. I worked hard on that head. All right, guys. We love you all very much. Please make sure you tune in again. We'll be here next Tuesday. Eddie will be dropping this show. I think now you're doing it on Fridays.
Thursdays.
Right? Is it Thursdays?
Hopefully I'll get up Wednesday.
I was going to say, so it's still looking like Wednesdays.
Well, the reason he's kind of backed up on Wednesdays is because the C&J Speedway review, which you guys should all check out. If you're not a NASCAR fan, tell somebody who is a NASCAR fan. The C&J Speedway review is growing every single week. We're having a good time.
Really great viewership on that.
Absolutely.
I'm happy the way it's turning out.
I'm glad.
I might actually have to put in some overtime and make some graphics for it. What the fuck?
Those graphics are great. I love the open. That's fantastic.
Well, I might have to do a little bit more.
Okay.
You know me. I always got to do more.
Guys, check out C&J Speedway review.
Absolutely not.
Soon, this guy will have a second podcast. Soon, that guy will have a second podcast. But then again, he's
Mike's
involved
not
in
doing it.
every single one of these.
Loki's not having a second podcast.
What happened to the gaming thing?
That's not a podcast.
That's not a podcast?
That's a video.
No, that's
Okay.
like a Twitch thing.
That's a video.
or
That's
something
not, Loki is not. Don't listen to him.
Okay.
Loki does not have another podcast in the works. Loki is not doing his own. No, don't listen.
It all
to this
comes
guy.
back to the network.
Don't
baby.
listen to this guy.
All comes back to the network.
We got
Start these
projects.
fucking
We got
rumors.
projects we're working on.
All right.
Don't start these rumors.
Rumors and innuendo?
Because you know what happens the minute he goes solo.
Him?
Yoko.
Yeah, really. Axel. Hey, look, Corey Huffnagel finally joined. You know what would be fun? Next week, before you know what's fucked up, I'm getting Corey on the phone. We're going to talk about C&J Speedway review.
Okay.
All right. Corey, you heard it. You're getting your spot next week, 10 minutes.
All right, folks. You
better
a good
be
night.
good.
You have a good night, and we'll see you next week.
I love you, Aunt Jean.